Jost. Victor Manuel Roca, a former U.S. ambassador, has been charged with spying for Cuba since 1981. And that's why Cuba is the unstoppable superpower they are today. Trump has basically locked up the nomination, and he's clearly already pivoting to the general election with a more moderate, unifying tone.
For the liars and cheaters and fraudsters and censors and imposters who have commandeered our government, it will be their judgment day. Their judgment day.
Now, where did I hear that before? Oh, right. Bane.
A new poll shows that supporters of President Biden and Donald Trump are sharply divided over where they get their news from. People who support Biden are more likely to get their news from newspapers and mainstream media, while Trump supporters get their news from T-shirts. McDonald's has announced a new spin-off restaurant called Cosmix. It's exactly like regular McDonald's, except that at Cosmix, the mascot is, oh no, Cosby McDonald?
Thinks this decision goes too far. He came out strongly in favor of IVF, saying this:
I strongly support the availability of IVF for couples who are trying to have a precious little beautiful baby.
Yeah, I mean, he had me right up until the end when he said little baby like he was Rumpelstiltskin. I must have their beautiful little delicious babies. And Trump is also like Rumpelstiltskin in that he clearly wove his own hair out of straw.
May is National Masturbation Month, so stop knocking on my dressing room door.
Donald Trump urged his supporters to brave the sub-zero temperatures in Iowa to vote for him, saying, even if you vote and then pass away, it's worth it. Voting for Trump and then passing away is also what happened with COVID.
The FAA revealed that Donald Trump's Boeing 757 clipped a parked plane when it landed in Florida. But the good news is Donald Trump flies around in a Boeing, so...
Donald Trump also told supporters that if he's elected, he will focus on anti-white racism. Thank God. My people have suffered long enough. Sorry, Che, but time's up.
Michael Cohen testified that Donald Trump's 3 oldest children were involved in putting together financial statements for his company. Ivanka wrote the summaries, Don Jr. put together the numbers, and Eric licked the envelopes.
President of the University of Pennsylvania has resigned after appearing to dodge questions about genocide during a congressional hearing on campus anti-Semitism. She will be replaced by literally anyone who knows you say genocide is bad. The whole crazy part is that the whole point during her speech was that free speech on campus should never be punished. And then she was immediately punished for her speech.
Michael Cohen testified that Trump would look at the total value of his assets and say, I'm actually not worth $4.5 billion. I'm really worth more like 6. 4.5 is basically 6 is also what he tells Melania. Ron DeSantis reportedly spent $1.5 million on private jets in just over 3 months because when he flies commercial, they make him take off his heels in front of everybody. It was reported that 92-year-old Rupert Murdoch is set to marry his 67-year-old girlfriend. The couple asked, in lieu of wedding gifts, send lube.
Oh, good, another one.
Oh, another one. It was reported that 92-year-old Rupert Murdoch is set to marry his 67-year-old girlfriend. The couple is registered at Campbell's Funeral Home. No, boy, this is a rough day for me, man.
After a judge issued a gag order against President Trump, Trump told reporters that the judge said, basically, I don't have the right to speak. Then he added, she's like literally killing me. Then he yelled, you're not even my real mom, and slammed his bedroom door. It happened.
On Monday, Donald Trump testified under oath in his civil fraud trial, though technically he was never sworn in because the Bibles kept bursting into flames.
Well, just hours ago, President Biden won the South Carolina Democratic primary, barely edging out his closest rival, Time.
Arizona Senator Kirsten Sinema, who looks like all the Flintstones at once, announced that she is retiring from the Senate. But I doubt any of us will ever forget the name of Senator Crystal Salmonella. All right.
Former President Trump said he would debate President Biden anytime, any place. And then he pointed to an empty podium on the stage. And now Trump and Biden are both polling 80 points behind the podium. In some great economic news for President Biden, U.S. oil production hit an all-time high this week, and the economy added a surprisingly robust 350,000 jobs. Or, as Fox News reported it, are migrants turning your kids trans?
A new poll shows President Biden and Donald Trump are tied in a hypothetical 2024 rematch, though they're both running 50 points behind. Kill me!
Kanye West made anti-Semitic jokes and said, "I like Hitler," which is also the password he used to get into Mar-a-Lago. At this point, I don't think Kanye is off his meds so much as he's immune to them. We're basically dealing with the Omicron variant of Kanye. You know, like we thought he'd fade away, but now we realize we may have to live with the brain fog of long-haul Kanye.
In a lawsuit against Ye, a former employee claims that Ye compared himself to Hitler minus the gas chambers. And I, for one, am shocked to hear that Ye believes in the Holocaust.
Biden's speech was great, but you could also tell the bar was very low. The New York Post's headline was just, "He's alive." That's it. That's like a headline you see about Bigfoot. Biden also got a big response while addressing the issue of abortion when he said, "We're about to find out how much political power women have." Then he turned to Kamala and said, "Except you."
Kanye West was suspended from Instagram again for posting a disparaging message about Jewish people. Seems like he's doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results, which I've heard is the definition of something. See, I'm noticing a trend with Kanye. His business deals went bad and he just started calling it a Jewish conspiracy. Sort of like when his albums got bad and he just started calling it gospel. In the wake of the Nashville shooting, President Biden once again called on Congress to pass an assault weapons ban. Or, hear me out, stop and frisk for whites. How long before these kids earn a stereotype? All right. Colin, you go.
No. Biden also took time in his speech to say that shrinkflation is affecting Snickers bars and that people pay the same amount for 10% fewer Snickers. And I got to give him credit because it's pretty risky for a white guy with a stutter to keep saying the word Snickers.
West has now been dropped by Adidas, The Gap, Balenciaga, and all bar mitzvah playlists. In the wake of Kanye's anti-Semitic comments, Adidas said it will stop making Yeezy shoes. Fans of Yeezy say it's the worst thing to happen to them since any puddle.
In a new interview, Donald Trump also claimed that President Biden was high on cocaine during the State of the Union, saying he was all jacked up at the beginning. By the end, he was fading fast. It almost sounds like Donald Trump knows exactly what it feels like to be on cocaine. You know, like at the beginning, you've got a lot of energy.
Some Democrats criticize President Biden for talking about migrants by using the term illegals. But come on, he's 81 years old. Let him slide. He means well. Like when my mom put up that sign to stop Oriental hate. All right. Colin, you go. Trump is reportedly being charged with 34 counts of business fraud. Business fraud is also what they call the Trump costume at Spirit Halloween. President Biden on Friday told reporters that he had no comment on Trump's indictment, and then he danced away like the Six Flags guy. A new report shows that South Korea now has the world's lowest birth rate, despite the efforts of South Korean entertainer Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I heard you. Yeah. It was announced that Kim Kardashian and Kanye West have reached a settlement in their divorce, and I'm going to go out on a limb and guess that she maybe had an easier time finding a good lawyer. For the first time ever, 2 male humpback whales were photographed having sex. Learn more about it in the heartbreaking drama Humpback Mountain.
A social media influencer was arrested for allegedly throwing a tampon at bouncers who were removing her from a club. Well, at least we know why she was acting that way. Should I just go home? I'm gonna go home.
But then, by the end, you're fading fast.
Just recently heard that Saudi Arabia and Russia will be doing.
Donald Trump said at a rally that he would make November 5th Christian Visibility Day. Wait, I thought that was called Ash Wednesday.
A Pennsylvania man has been sentenced to 2 years probation for selling body parts for mortuaries, but still no punishment for the buyer, Arby's.
We have your grandpa.
For Weekend Update, sponsored by Arby's.
Kanye West also abruptly closed Donda Academy, which is a private school that forces parents to sign non-disclosure agreements. Wait, we can do NDAs, said Catholic school priest.
Mitch McConnell, seen here bringing peanuts into a preschool cafeteria, said he will tell Republican senators to vote against additional aid for Ukraine and Israel until there are meaningful changes to the border. But the way it came out was brains. A new trend among parents is to choose baby names that sound cool as TikTok handles. Great news for little baby Trick Shot COVID Hoax. Flacco, the beloved owl that escaped from the Central Park Zoo, died last week after he flew into a building. Flacco will be remembered for his famous last words, "Oh cool, another owl." And is it just me, or did half the companies that dropped Kanye sound fake? I saw the headline, TJ Maxx cuts ties with Kanye. I was like, did Kanye know he worked for TJ Maxx? Also, unless we already associated you with Kanye, you didn't have to announce you were cutting ties. Like, we didn't need Peloton to announce we're no longer playing Kanye's music. Thanks, Peloton. Now we can rest easy knowing we won't hear Gold Digger while we have a heart attack on your bike.
An Apple factory in China is expected to cut production of iPhones by 6 million in response to ongoing worker protests. The workers' main demand is more playtime. I'm shocked too, guys. I'm so shocked.
At some point, I actually started getting excited about who was going to announce next. Dippin' Dots will no longer work with Scrub Daddy is cutting all time. TCBY will discontinue their Watch the Cone menu, featuring the hit flavor Nougats and Pretzels. You make some good points, Michael. A new report shows that New Jersey has the second worst roads in the country, while the worst roads are the ones that go into New Jersey.
Oh boy, President Biden said that he supports a bill that would allow the government to ban TikTok, but only because Biden thinks TikTok is a gang member from his old neighborhood.
After Walgreens announced that they will stop selling abortion pills in 21 states, CVS has remained silent on the issue. While over at Rite Aid, you can just grab a pill from the Take Abortion, Leave Abortion program. Mitch McConnell, seen here watching the bank foreclose on a single mother, says that he has completely recovered after 2 incidents where he appeared to freeze up and become unresponsive. But suspiciously, he made the comments while being held up by 2 guys in beachwear.
President Biden met with Japan's prime minister where they discussed building a new bullet train system in America using advanced Japanese technology. In return, Japan requested the advanced American technology of forks.
It was announced that Kim Kardashian and Kanye West have reached a settlement in their divorce, and I'm going to go out on a limb and guess that she maybe had an easier time finding a good lawyer. First Lady Jill Biden also unveiled a new ice rink near the White House, setting the stage for next week's headline, President Shatters Pelvis on Ice Rink. A new report from the White House claims that President Biden's billions of dollars of student loan relief will disproportionately help Latinos, which has earned Biden the nickname El Papa de Sugar. A new study claims Fremont, California is the happiest city in America, while the saddest city in America is once again Puppy Grave, Indiana. Which, incidentally, is the favorite vacation spot of Mitch McConnell. Former president and current courtroom sketch model Donald Trump testified on the stand for the first time in over 10 years, and it's fun that nobody is 100% sure which trial this sketch is from. It happened. And yesterday on Truth Social, Trump posted a courtroom sketch of him sitting next to Jesus. Because if there's one guy whose trial famously ended well, it's Jesus. Well, great news for conservatives. New York is finally cracking down on crime. Former President Donald Trump was indicted for his role in paying hush money to porn star Stormy Daniels, and the trial will be like a Stormy Daniels movie because I'm deeply ashamed at how excited I am to watch it.
The committee showed a never-before-seen video from January 6th of a desperate Nancy Pelosi speaking on the phone with Mike Pence, which to Pence counts as adultery. In the video, Pelosi said that she wanted to punch out Donald Trump and knew that if she did, she'd go to jail and be happy. I assume because she owns stock in private prisons.
Trump will reportedly surrender next week, but his lawyer, Joe Tacopina, who Trump definitely calls Joe Tapioca, said that the president will not be put in handcuffs, though he would consider wearing fake breakaway handcuffs and a Superman t-shirt. When Trump surrenders, New York City police will take his official mugshot, which you know is the only thing Trump cares about getting right. I'm sure he's hoping it'll look cool like Frank Sinatra's, but I bet it'll end up closer to Nick Nolte.
After his arraignment, Donald Trump spoke to supporters at Mar-a-Lago and said there was a very dark cloud over our beloved country, which is also what he used to call Obama. Insiders are saying that since Donald Trump's indictment, his daughter Ivanka has been absent, and his other daughter Tiffany is trying to take her place by his side just as soon as she gets through security. The Los Angeles Dodgers have signed two-way superstar Shohei Ohtani to a 10-year contract worth $700 million, which is almost as much as his sister on OnlyFans, Shofeet Ohtani. I thought that was a real smart joke.
I don't get it. RuPaul harshly criticized lawmakers who support banning drag shows, calling them stunt queen politicians. And let me just say, hallelujah, girl. I gotta serve realness on this one. These dusty breeders are resting on ugly, and I am gagging on it. It was announced that the producers of this year's Academy Awards have set up a crisis team to deal with any incidents similar to last year's Will Smith slap. Guys, it's not going to happen again. I'm sure you wish it would for ratings. If anything, the promos for the Oscars should be, who's going to get slapped this year? And I'm sorry, guys, before the show, I switched from red to champagne.
Oh boy, President Biden said that he supports a bill that would allow the government to ban TikTok, but only because Biden thinks TikTok is a gang member from his old neighborhood.
The publisher of Roald Dahl's books announced that they're altering some of his insensitive language, like the words fat and ugly, as well as modernizing his portrayal of women, which will mostly affect Dahl's beloved children's classic, The Fat Ugly Wife Who Knew Her Place. It was reported that the James Bond books are being rewritten to remove offensive material. So the character Pussy Galore will now be called Cooter Aplenty. After Walgreens announced that they will stop selling abortion pills in 21 states, CVS has remained silent on the issue. While over at Rite Aid, you can just grab a pill from the Take Abortion, Leave Abortion plan.
It was announced that Brittany Griner has signed with the Phoenix Mercury for 1 year. Unfortunately, the WNBA pays less than a Russian prison. You're not going to like this next one. A 4-foot-long alligator was discovered in Brooklyn's Prospect Park, so you can probably take down all those missing dog posters. It was reported that the organizers of King Charles's coronation have officially invited Meghan Markle, and this is nice, at a starting salary of $19 an hour. That seems very generous, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. This week, both Harvey Weinstein and R. Kelly were given additional prison sentences on top of the ones they are already serving, which brings us to Michael Che's new segment. Berlin announced that women will now be allowed to go topless at the city's pools. But officials also said to be aware, it's not going to be the ones you want.
Experts have debunked claims that an unwanted pregnancy can be terminated with high doses of vitamin C. Well, that's the last time I ask a woman to stay over for breakfast, Colin. The NBA Slam Dunk Contest was won by Mac McClung, a 6'2" white man who has only appeared in 2 NBA games, which is just a terrible way to end Black History Month.
As this year's awards season gets underway, there's growing movement to get rid of the gendered categories of Best Actor and Best Actress and instead call them Best Actor and Best Actor who got paid less.
A deep-sea diver has announced plans to set a new record by living underwater for 100 days. I feel like the record is longer than that, said the people of New Orleans. I don't know why I thought that'd make you laugh.
You make some good points, Michael. A new report shows that New Jersey has the second worst roads in the country, while the worst roads are the ones that go into New Jersey.
According to a new report, by 2035, more than half of the world's population will be just how I like them. A photo has gone viral of a 98-year-old woman in Kentucky meeting her first great-great-great-grandchild. Well, I wish I had gotten to meet my great-great-great-grandmother so I could have told her, don't get on that boat!
The National Brotherhood of Skiers is pushing for greater representation of black people in winter sports, which are predominantly white. So it seems like someone's a little jealous that we took their precious dunk contest.
A San Francisco panel studying reparations is proposing giving every black resident a one-time payment of $5 million. Well, that's a fantastic idea, said the Gucci store. I even tried acting during that one, man.
There is a trend on TikTok of people eating oranges in showers, claiming that it reduces stress and anxiety. But if you're comfortable filming yourself eating in the shower, I would argue you don't have enough anxiety.
Monday is National Polar Bear Day, previously known as National Polar Bears Day. I love this audience. This is going great for me.
A new study finds that long-distance running does not cause wear and tear on marathoners' knees, but it does sand their nipples clean off. Due to a computer error, a school in Massachusetts has been unable to turn off its lights for over a year and a half. The students are doing fine, but the classroom hamster has gone insane.
A woman at an art fair in Miami accidentally shattered a Jeff Koons sculpture worth more than $40,000. Well, I guess it's like you always say, Colin, Koons ain't safe in Florida.
You're gonna get me killed.
Wednesday was International Women's Day. I said was. Next joke. A new study finds that some New York City rats carry the virus that causes COVID, which is why I always order mine well done.